All right, guys, let's talk happy stuff.
All right.
Best hobby in the world, and look at all the wonderful people we have on the show tonight and all the models on the table. This is great. And look at all the folks watching us record this tonight. I want to hear a lot of applaud out there, guys. I want to hear happiness out there tonight.
Yeah, we're talking to you guys.
Okay, ready? Give
all
us
right.
a countdown and let's do this.
All right. 3.
The What's Neat This Week video podcast is supported by enthusiastic model railroaders just like you.
These are anyway.
Further support is provided by Microengineering, keeping you on track with quality products for 55 years. Check out their website at www.microengineering.com. Order from your local dealer or order direct by calling 1-800-462-6975. And by Intermountain Railway Company, where the detail makes the difference. Check out their website at intermountain-railway.com. Additional support is provided by Jelsma Graphics, America's leading distributor of quality railroad art and embroidered clothing since 1985. Check out their website at jelsma.com. Further support is provided by the NCE Corporation, the power of DCC. Visit their website at ncedcc.com. And thank you for supporting the What's Neat This Week podcast. This is the What's Neat This Week, show number 163 for July 24th, 2021. I'm your host, Ken Patterson, the host of the What's Neat show over at Model Railroad Hobbyist magazine. And tonight we've got some great people on the show with us. I'm going to start on the end like I love to do with Mike Budde. Hello, Mike.
Hey, everybody.
Mike, happy birthday.
Hey, thanks.
Mike's birthday was yesterday? Mike doesn't look it. You're 67, okay, but you don't look it.
39 and counting.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
On the other side of me, I've got Joshua Barton. Hey,
What's
Joshua.
up?
On the very end, I've got James Regier.
Hi.
Hello, James. And on Skype, out there in wonderful the UK, we've got Jenifer Kirk. Hello, Jenny.
Hi there.
Hey, Jenny.
It's really good to have you on the show today. Because you're not coming to the Prototype Modelers Meet like we were hoping, I wanted to have you on tonight's show. And I'm pretty sure next week's show will be a very interesting, probably hour-long show with a lot of different people and manufacturers. I'm not sure how it's going to go down yet, but we're just going to call it organized chaos and have a good time like we've done on past RPM shows, actually 2 years ago. Now, we're going to be giving out a lot of hats at the show, and we've got a lot of hats from Denny Jelsma at Jelsma's Graphics on the table. And we've got about 97 hats to give out to the people that we interview for the 14 interviews that I've got to get during that show, and also to various individuals that we might meet that might walk up to us and tell us that they've seen us on What's Neat, and or I'd love to give hats to people that have never seen it before. But I want you wearing your hats at the show, and we'll disperse it out so we can give some out each day, so it's fair. Thank you very much, Denny, for giving us the opportunity to promote what we do for the hobby. He printed up, I think, about 700 brochures that we'll put on various areas of tables so that you can find out all about Jelsma Graphics and all about our show and how you can find it on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Because we do get out to an awful lot of people out there, and we really do appreciate the viewers that we have. Thank you so much for you supporting us in what we do in the best hobby in the world.
Absolutely.
All right.
Tonight we're going to talk about cleaning wheels a little bit later on in the show, but I do want to talk about some amazing photo shoots that I did this afternoon at about 4:30 today. And I'm going to start out with these wonderful Intermountain 2-bay covered hoppers, 1958 cubic feet. 1958 cubic feet HO scale 2-bay covered hoppers, starting with the Elgin, Joliet, and Eastern Railroad, car number 3130. I shot this car from on top and on the side because these things are absolutely loaded up with hatch detail, roof walk detail, end detail. It's what we've come to expect from Intermountain, and the paintwork is second to none. The next car I want to show you is ATSF, Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe, car number 181665. This one's painted in Santa Fe's mineral brown paint, and it looks absolutely great out in sunlight. I've got Colorado and Southern, Burlington route, car number 19047, That one's absolutely beautiful with a black roof. And again, it looks like that mineral type paint on the sides, that boxcar color. We've got a Missouri, Kansas, Texas MKT car here tonight. And that one's painted in a really neat color. I'd almost call it an oxide red color. Car number 40913. Absolutely amazing detail on that car as well. And Mike Budde's favorite. I don't know how to say the word, Mike.
Oh, poly, I don't remember what it was.
Polyborchlorate.
But yeah,
Polyborchlorinite.
kills weeds and grass.
Polyborchlorate, yeah.
Right, chlorate. It's got NAHX as reporting marks. Car number 30514. It's in yellow and blue with a wagon train on the side of the car. And it says on the side of the car in beautiful lettering that's crystal clear and crisp to see, destroys weeds and grasses at a low cost. So thank you very much, Intermountain, for helping us promote this show and sharing the most wonderful new freight cars that you now have. And I saw that you guys were out in Deshler, Nebraska. I saw that on Facebook. So you guys are going to be doing a lot of traveling between now and St. Louis next week for the RPM meet, guys. We're really looking forward to that.
Can't
That'll be in
wait.
Collinsville, Illinois, July 31st and the 30th. Friday and Saturday, and I hope to see you there. It's going to be a fun show. I'm really looking forward to it.
30 miles east of St. Louis.
It's about, it's 32 minutes from here driving north. I know that, out on 255. From Bachmann today, I've got some more locomotives in N scale to show off when we continue the project layout that we're doing, which just came out at Model Railroad Hobbyist magazines. I believe that's the July video, where we showed the initial construction on this N-scale layout that measures about 8 feet by 3.5 feet, and it's really kind of a neat build. And thank you very much in readers' comments for all the comments on that show. I was amazed. And by the way, my layout, where I did that show for the month of June, that had, I think it's up to 41,000 views. That's absolutely amazing for one of our videos, and it's all about the home layout and the 14 years that it took to build it. And there's 130 comments, absolutely amazing. And yes, I have read every one of your comments. Thank you so much for all the kind words. So we've got these N-scale consolidations from Bachmann Trains in Philadelphia, starting with a Baldwin. This comes with economy sound, and this is a Western Pacific in N-scale. I shot these from the side and on top. And if I have any photographs of any of these that I've shot previously for them, I will be including them in the show right now. N-scale Baldwin 280 consolidation, Norfolk and Western. In this case, I can say Norfolk and Western, and it's okay.
Yeah, right.
Number 722. And I feel like I have photographed that locomotive. Again, both of these are amazing. They've got economy sound in them. How did they shoehorn sound into an N-scale engine? I will never absolutely understand
I don't know.
that.
The detail for an N scale is amazing over there.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Also on the table, we've got some 440s, which is what George Bogatuk has made us a video for the August What's Neat, where he'd get a 38-minute long video on how he kit bashed and tricked out two 440s, the General and I believe the Texas. Just absolutely amazing work, and that'll be in the August What's Neat. I've got the September What's Neat just about finished. In fact, I shot the last clip tonight for it. Thank you very much, Daniel Coombs, for running camera. We went over to a gentleman's house, Gary Gross, and shot his layout yesterday at 8 p.m., and it's absolutely amazing. It's a triple deck layout. I mean, Gary really packed a lot of trains into a 16 by 20 space. It's absolutely amazing. Daniel ran camera for me, so thank you very much, Gary Gross. I got your segment edited last night, finished it at 2. If you want to see it, come on over here and I'll be happy to show it to you in the next couple of days. Talking about the 440s now, from Bachmann. I've got two of them, starting with the NCRR, otherwise known as the York, number 117. This comes with a wood load, it's HO scale, and these two also have sound. And the beauty of these is, this is all new work. These do not have the motor in the tender like the old 440s were used to. Bachmann made a great improvement, I think about 3 to 4 years ago, whereas they put a coreless motor into this locomotive so that it'll fit into the boiler.
Wow.
And they run spectacular. The next one I've got is an American 440 with a wood load, and this is a Central Pacific. And this is the Jupiter, okay? That's one that I did in fact shoot previously for Bachmann. So I can show you the photograph of the two locomotives facing each other at
Promontory.
Promontory, that's correct, for the Golden Spike, where they actually had the Transcontinental Railroad across the country. So absolutely beautiful, and this one also includes sound. Now, Jenifer Kirk and I talked earlier in the week on Skype, and she showed me the outside of the condo that DCC Concepts uses for special guests and otherwise visitors. And she pointed the camera outside and showed me the buildings of England up the street. And I'll tell you what, it looks like walking through the Wathers catalog, Volmer, right? Those old buildings.
Yeah.
She said the buildings out there are 250 years old that I was looking at. I don't think there's anything in the United States that is 250 years old, is there? But Jenifer, thank you for coming, hon. Tell us what you'd like to talk about tonight.
Thank you very much for having me on. Always a pleasure to be on What's Neat this week. And I've got a couple of things actually that have just launched. And one of them is our premium HO gauge rolling road, which is the brilliant gift for any model railroader for testing, running in your locomotives. Comes with a set of 10 gold-plated rollers which you just place on any track and run any model railroad locomotive. We've got a similar set in O gauge as well, which the larger scale modelers are not left out, and these are really heavy duty that allow even the heaviest of O gauge locomotives to be running on the spot, which is perfect for anybody that doesn't necessarily have a continuous run to be able to just run in those locomotives.
So you put these on the track, and they're able to get power, and the train sits on roller-bearing wheels so that you can test run the locomotive, correct?
Yep, absolutely. And I sent you over some photographs of some example locomotives on there. You can use multiple locomotives. So I sent over an FA unit with the A and the B unit, both sat together on the rolling roads, and you can just run them up and just leave them. Even if you've just got a short length of track on your test workbench, you can still work on your models without having to physically put them on your railroad. And it makes it really easy to diagnose faults. And if you've got things like bent valve gear on steam locomotives, it's really easy to spot that and fix it using these.
Yes.
That's really cool, Jenifer.
I've also got another one which I think you guys might like, which is called...
I know what this is. This is cool.
Central.
Yes.
And this is designed to natively just plug into your NCE system. So, like you, I've got NCE here, which I got on your recommendation, Ken, and really loving that system. But that extra jack plug on the faceplate that it comes with, this just plugs straight into that, and you'll see just lights up. And if you've got accessories like switch machines, then instead of having to go through the menu on your handset, it's just simply a case of pressing the appropriate button, and all of your switch machines just change on your layout.
Hold that up closer to the camera. I want to see
Oh,
that.
that's convenient. That is convenient.
Look at that.
Take my money, please.
Look at that.
That is convenient.
And you just press the buttons, and you can have multiples of these. It has 12 sets of buttons, but you can gang them together, so you can have as many buttons as you need for all of your switch machines. And it just saves all of that aggravation of having to go into the accessory menu every time that you want to change a switch. And it's just a really convenient little tool that you can just plug straight on into your NCE system.
The NCE system is very
awesome.
simple when you actually go into the accessory menu, but it sounds like you're making it so it's in front of you and you just push one button right there on the fly.
Exactly, yeah. And if, say, you've got a big yard and you're wanting to change several switches very quickly, you can do that on this. And it doesn't stop you from using your handset. You can still go into that accessory menu and change any switch that you want. But this just gives you that convenience that you've got a set of buttons there on the side of your layout. And because it just plugs into the faceplate, you could even unplug it, move it down your layout, and plug it in at a different faceplate, just as you would with your NCE handset.
Very cool.
Man. I mean, I see a lot of potential for this for prototypical operations that you can automatically control as a dispatcher. You can just like press the button, control the switches on the layout, and have all that ready and set to go for the operators. That'd be...
Definitely, yeah. And the product has basically been designed just to make it as easy and as intuitive as possible. and they are actually available in the US through Heartland Hobbies. So any model
Heartland,
railroad hobby store can order through Heartland Hobbies.
Where is Heartland Hobbies in this country?
It's I
guys
think
know?
it's not that far from you, isn't it?
Is that
What's
Kansas?
their website?
I don't
Just
actually have
second.
it to hand. But
Oh, look,
think
these
they
guys have
have-
got their phones out. They're going to
Yeah.
find it. I've heard the name Heartland Hobby. It
I
must
have
be a
too.
very large shop.
Yeah.
Well, they're a wholesaler, so
Oh, they're a
Hobbies-
distributor, wholesaler.
Lincoln,
US.
Nebraska.
Lincoln,
Lincoln,
Nebraska.
Nebraska.
Yeah.
Do they have a website?
They do. HHOWNLINE.
.com. So guys, check it out.
HHW
Heartland
online.
Hobby.
That sounds like a really cool product.
.com.
Yeah.
And also, if people want to, they can buy them direct from DCC Concepts in the UK. We do ship internationally.
Okay.
So, folks in Death Shore, stop on your way back. That should
Yeah.
be in Lincoln there. That's on
What's
your
a
way back.
what's a price point on something like that?
Oh, I should have that to hand, but I don't.
Just
It
guess.
is-
Give me a ballpark. Oh,
let me
she's
just
got a
look it
cell
up.
phone too.
Everyone in the
Phone
world
without
has a
it.
cell
Just give me
phone.
one moment, and I will find out.
Ask
the,
the Google.
What is it
retail
called?
price of that.
What's the actual name of the device?
It's called Alpha Central, and it's got
Alpha
a.
Central.
Let me just try and.
That's very cool.
That is a
Trying
neat
to
idea.
navigate because I'm on the back end of the website, so I'm trying to navigate.
What's your favorite color hat here, Joshua?
Purple.
The purple one.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I know.
You want it?
Yeah.
Hey, we just gave away. Now we only have 96 hats to give away.
96 hats left to give away.
No, I
96
know.
hats
Bottles
left.
of beer on the wall.
Right, sorry, it's £149.95, but that does include VAT. So take 20% off that, and then once you got it to the UK, you just pay your general sales tax on whatever state you're in. So that is.
That's cool.
It's about 120 pounds, whatever that is in dollars. So
I don't know.
it's it's.
I know.
not
Siri.
cheap.
Siri will tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, but it comes. It's an anodized aluminium case, light up buttons. It is a very substantial piece of equipment.
No, it's very
So
nice.
it will definitely last a lifetime.
Oh,
Tell
that
us
looks
tell
awesome.
us how people can watch your Monday Morning Club show. That's very popular. I know my wife has watched it, and in fact, she's contributed to your show. You've got it set up so people can give you all, some money to help support the hobby and buy better equipment and keep your production values up. Tell us about that.
Definitely, yeah. The Monday Club at 7 o'clock UK time every Monday evening, and it's 2 hours live stream on YouTube where basically all things model railroad related is discussed, and it's just a really great place where like-minded people can come, can hang out, they can interact in the comments, interact with me, interact with each other. And all the way through lockdown as well, it's been particularly helpful because I know a lot of people have been isolated from friends, family, even from the clubs. The shows haven't been running. So it's been a great way that once a week we can just all get together online, forget about all the problems that we've had, and just hang out and talk trains. And it's really,
awesome.
really great fun.
Now, speaking of which, does anyone here see the TARDIS on the layout? It's got to be somewhere there.
It's out of view because we're just on the one camera at the moment.
Oh,
But
okay.
if I was able to change the cameras on you, you'd see it just over there. I should have
Tortoise?
actually put
The
it.
TARDIS, yeah, from
Doctor
Doctor Who.
Who?
Oh,
It's like a phone booth that's bigger on the inside than on the outside.
Okay.
And
It's
every
Doctor Who thing.
it's a different place every week.
Jenifer, now last week on the show, I think you watched it, we talked about how to clean your track, and we talked about a track cleaning device. Actually, that was 2 weeks ago because we didn't do a show on the 17th. But we discussed cleaning track, and everybody at the table gave their ways of doing it, and we talked about sandpapers and bright boys and ways to make a track cleaning tool. What I want to talk tonight about is cleaning wheels. Jenifer, how do you all clean your wheels in the UK? Have you got any trick?
We just tend to use IPA, which I don't know whether it's called the same over in the US, and it's like an alcohol-based clear liquid, and you just wipe it on, and it kind of softens up any muck and cleans away any grease.
Okay.
And then we just wipe it off with a soft paper towel, and that's what most people do.
Yeah.
And then obviously with your track, it's always helpful to have something like a track cleaning rubber, something that's not too abrasive. What I found in the past is that if you use something abrasive like emery board or sandpaper, because it's putting little scratches into the rail
That's the problem, yeah.
that then gives you a problem later
Yes.
down the line because it makes all that dirt stick to the track even faster.
No, very true. I did some photography a few years back when I was showing Michelle, the wonderful wife and mother of my children, how to clean wheels. And I've got some photographs here of Michelle cleaning wheels on a Hallmark steam locomotive. And it was just amazing. I'm talking about this because I want to use these photographs, one of them as the thumbnail for the show. But it was amazing and very easy. And what we do is we use Q-tips. On brass locomotives, it was imperative to clean the wheels, like for example in your Overland models, because they were heavy and they picked up dirt on the layout. And I like to use lacquer thinner. You've got to be careful with lacquer thinner as not to get it on the plastic. You can also clean your freight car wheels with it. Only metal wheels only, but you take a Q-tip and a bottle of lacquer thinner and you just dip the Q-tip in the lacquer thinner, blot it a little bit on a paper towel so it's not too heavy so it won't roll down the roller bearings into the points and ruin the wheels. And then you just simply roll the wheel, let the Q-tip do its job, and you look at that Q-tip and it comes up absolutely black. I mean, it's amazing. It's a very courteous thing to do to your freight cars and trains before you go to a fellow modeler's layout, because that will get on their track right away. With a locomotive, you simply hit some alligator clips on each wheel, just touch them to the wheels, and then again, let the Q-tip do its job as the motor spins the wheels around, and those also come up very black. You don't want to use anything abrasive, as Jenifer has suggested, because on a lot of brass models and a lot of models in general, that nickel silver plating on the wheels actually comes off very easily, and then you're left with the brass solid metal that most of the wheels that we work with are made out of. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit tonight. Thank you, Michelle, for giving me permission to use your beautiful photographs. Absolutely, that's the last thing on my list. So Mike, buddy, what did you bring tonight?
I brought this caboose I've been working on probably on and off for about 8 years, but it's an old right track kit, resin kit. It's an ACL M5 caboose, and I lived in Tampa for a while in my early 20s, and when I'd rail fan, I always saw these cabooses that said "Thanks for using Coastline," and I always thought they were pretty cool, you know, and they have little like sunshades over the windows, which was unique, pretty much the way they were mounted anyway. It kind of set them apart from other cabooses. So pretty soon they were, you know, painted into Seaboard, Coastline, and then eventually retired. But in the mid 70s, there were still a lot of these running around, and they started out orange, but the period I modeled, 1978, by then they were faded really yellow and streaky, and they had a pretty cool appearance to them, I thought. So
Yeah, that looks amazing.
anyway, yeah, I was working on another caboose, and I ran into a roadblock, so I pulled this one out and started working on it. I did this in about 2 weeks, and the windows are my Scotch tape windows, and it's got a surgeon coupler on the back. I like to put a surgeon coupler on the rear of all my cabooses.
Surgeons are very fine scale couplers, aren't they?
Yeah, they're really very realistic.
You have to assemble them. They have a ball bearing in them that sets to keep it locked, and I think you use a magnet or something to open it up. Is
Or
that
you can
how
just
that
turn
works?
it upside down, turn the car upside down, and the ball falls so you can open the knuckle.
Very interesting. Yeah, surgeon couplers. I'd like to know more about them and feature some of their material on the show. I know Dave Davis has got a lot of that. Maybe we get Dave to talk about that sometime.
One thing I just want to let you know, the right track kits are out of print. You can't get them anymore, but there's a friend of mine on Facebook, Gregory King, and he purchased the molds and the rights to these right track models, and he's gonna release them individually when he gets the molds ready and cleaning them up. And,
Very cool.
That is cool.
I think he's working on an Illinois Centralia caboose. I'm not sure.
Oh.
But Gary Wright had that before he sold the line to Greg King. But
Boy, we're going to see an awful lot of neat models next week at the show.
Oh, yeah.
Are you bringing the buses?
which ones? My St.
The
Louis
bus chassis, yeah?
School buses.
Oh,
buses.
yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Can't wait to see those.
Yeah, I
as
thought
a
people were
finished
getting kind of tired of seeing them on the table, so I didn't bring that.
product. I can't
Yeah.
wait to see them in person at the table
Yeah.
at the RPM next
Right.
week.
Yeah, that would be
Right.
awesome.
Yeah.
Mike, a lot of people are going to want to meet you at that show because, according to readers' comments, your work is very respected that you present. Would you
thank
say
you.
that's
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
And James Regier is going to bring his new Santa Fe switcher to the show. He brought it here tonight. James, tell us about that and your steam locomotive.
Well, this beep, it's 100% 3D design.
Right.
Except for the Bowser frame and motor and all that stuff that wouldn't be practical design. But I did do the gearboxes, and they actually work, so that's great.
Great.
I used instead of Scotch tape for the windows, I used packing material. Like that clear acetate
Packing tape.
plastic that you get with just about everything you buy
Right.
these days.
Oh.
Cut that to size with a with a chopper.
Oh, you mean the covering
Like
on
clear
a
covering
package?
material.
The covering,
Oh,
the
that's a
clear
good idea.
plastic on the package.
How'd you glue that onto the inside of the model?
I use crystal clear glue.
Very good.
So that works very well.
Right.
And the handrails, the stanchions are from KV models, and it's brass from Tichy trains. But yeah, it's runs, it's operational. It has something like 24 LEDs on it.
Okay.
In I think 6 separately operable lighting functions, and it has TCS wow sound in it. And so I've been testing it and been pretty pleased with the results so far.
Good job.
It's turned out pretty well. Now that locomotive over there, the 4089, that's the latest from Broadway Limited that they've just come out with. This is a Santa Fe Mike, or a Mikado. So Mike meet Mike.
Okay.
But this is very nicely done. I was here a couple weeks ago, and I tested, and it hauled 100 car trains solo. So this has a lot of pulling power. It's actually really well built, really well designed, and this is the switching configuration. It has the footboards on the back, the rear headlight up on the tender, and some other various details. But they've actually gone number specific with these models.
Wow.
And if I may mention one more thing, and that's just give a shout out for the Abilene and Smoky Valley Railroad. Where we had the pleasure on the 4th of July weekend to ride an excursion train behind a restored Santa Fe Pacific Type 462 locomotive.
Wow.
Now,
Very cool.
the story behind this locomotive is amazing. That it was a park locomotive. This is not really a railroad town, or hasn't been since its cowtown days back in the 19th century. But these guys got together and decided they wanted to get this train running again. And so they did. They got several grants, but a lot of willpower, a lot of gumption, a lot of moxie, and they got this thing running.
Wow.
And they run the locomotive in summers on holiday weekends. So the next opportunity will be on Labor Day weekend. But they run it off of used motor oil. The oil that your car normally burns, right? Once you drain it out of your car, it'll burn on the locomotive. So it's an amazing job that they do. They've gotten a lot of good publicity. Jim Wren, in fact, was out there of Trains Magazine, was out there taking photos of the train as we pulled into Enterprise. But it's an amazing ride. If you get the chance, I'd highly recommend it.
That's awesome.
Sounds fun.
All right, Jenifer, I want to thank you very much for being with us tonight.
Thank you very much. It's been an honor to be on, and I'm just really jealous that I'm not able to get over
I'm
for
sorry.
the meet next weekend.
Yeah.
I was really looking forward to that.
There's always next year.
Yeah, hopefully
and we can,
next year.
maybe we'll figure out something else, because it'll be an absolute pleasure to have you hanging out here on the bluff with us, and you're welcome to stay here at the home. You don't have to worry about a thing. We'll take good care of you once you get here.
Thank you very much.
So next week, we're going to do the RPM show. We're going to shoot about 14 interviews at the show for What's Neat for October. And then we're going to have a podcast here that Saturday night after the show is over. We'll have various manufacturers, maybe a few modelers. It's going to be a very interesting show, just like all those post-RPM shows are. I call it organized chaos, but we've done it enough times, and we've got enough microphones down here. I think we've got 8 lapel microphones and probably another 4 or 5 handheld microphones. I think we're going to have it covered. The hardest job is going to be for Daniel to be running 3 cameras this time and making sure everything goes smoothly. So thank you, Mike. Happy birthday once again.
Hey, thanks.
Thank you to everybody who's watching us record the show out there. Guys, let me hear it. Daniel Coombs, thank you for running camera. Joshua Barton, we love you, brother.
Yay.
James Regier, I'm glad you're here tonight. Ken Patterson saying we're going to take our NCE power system now and run some trains on the layout.
And we'll see you next week.
This is the best hobby in the world, guys. Let's go run some trains.
Yeah.